All right, shalom, y'all. Shalom. Get the music going.
Bring it out. First we go. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up. Yeah, there we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. There we go. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up, build 'em up. There we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. If you don't know me, I stay with them OGs. RSRAELITE, chosen seed. Original God, so bright that you can't even see me. When I open my view, blinded like I got a mouth full of gold teeth. We cut them up, then we let them know. Building them up to go wide and show. And then good, we ain't no more. We stomped his ass right through the flow. 12 tries, I'm calling now. Yelling repent with a big shot. Time to realize that you've been sodomized with all the lies. First we go. Cut them up, cut them up, cut them up. There we go. Build them up, build them up. Yeah, there we go. Break them down, break them down, break them down. There we go. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. Cut them up, cut them up, cut them up. There we go. Build them up, build them up, build them up. There we go. Break them down, break them down, break them down, break them down. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out.
Propaganda, black and white scriptures, no panda. If you see laws in the stanza, put your hands up if you're ready to man up. Better know of your obligation, then stop with the little boy conversation and know when the spirit of observation ain't clear. We the men that's gonna put the scripts in your ear. Oh my God, did he just cut them up? Nah, bruh, them laws that them bleeding. Did that sister just go cover up? Nah, bruh, them laws just all hit out precept upon precept. Building that on me, boy. Effect of the end. Babylon will be destroyed.
Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, shalom, y'all. Shalom. It's your boy Michael Israel here. We getting ready to get started with another Bible lesson on biblical office politics. We're going to be getting started here in a second. I'm just sharing the video, letting everybody get in there, and then we'll get started with the lesson. So just stand by and enjoy the music.
Bring it out. First we go. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up. Yeah, there we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. There we go. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up, build 'em up. There we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. If you don't know me, I stay with them OGs. RSRAELITE, chosen seed. Original God, so bright that you can't even see me. When I open my view, blinded like I got a mouth full of gold teeth. We cut 'em up, then we let 'em know.
All right, shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom. It's your boy Michael Israel here today, and we got a lesson titled "Biblical Office Politics." And title of this lesson is just in response to some comments I had got earlier that I had read. But one of the things that I struggle with, and that I had a revelation and understanding on but it was something I struggled with the majority of my professional work life, you know what I'm saying, was work. They say the places where you experience, there's two places where you're going to experience racism the most. And that's one, in your neighborhood from the cops. If you live in kind of a lower income black neighborhood, which the majority of our people live in, is, you know, lower income neighborhoods, the hoods, the ghettos, whatever you want to call it. That's one of the number one places you're going to experience racism from the cops, from the oppression coming from them. If you live in a middle class, kind of suburban type neighborhood, the cops are there to help you. They're providing a service to you. If you live in one of these poor black neighborhoods, the cops oppress you there. And I've experienced it firsthand because when I was in New York City, I was down in the Bronx in the subway, and some cops came up to me and they tried to start a fight with me, you know. And if I didn't know any better, I would have been in a fight with them, and I'm sure I would have lost, you know, because they would have called him back up or something. And, you know, it would have been on and popping. And the other place you experience racism the most is the workplace. And for a lot of us, if you haven't been properly educated, if the proper work ethic and how to deal with these other nations hasn't been instilled in you from home, you're going to really struggle on your jobs. Okay? And let me say, shalom, shalom, Watchers King. I see you in there. Shalom, Savannah. Shalom, Shirley. Shalom, Margaret. Sharon, shalom. Shalom to Sharon Grant on YouTube, and shalom to everybody else watching out there. But this is the main place you experience racism, is at work. But this is the thing, I didn't realize what I was experiencing was racism at my job. I didn't, shalom, Kesh, yeah. But anyway, I didn't realize what I was experiencing at work was racism. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't figure out what it was. And when I say this, I'm talking about, I figured this out maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago. It all came, you know, it was after I got into this truth and all that. Then it began to occur to me what it was, you know, because it seems subtle until you realize what it is. And the thing is, I would say the way, real fast, and like I said, I have a whole lesson here with PowerPoints and all that. But what it is it's not so much as they have rules that they follow, that they hold you to at work. There's rules that you have to abide by, and you got to keep the rules. But certain people, they don't apply the rules to. Okay? And so at the end of the day, if you want to go there and get, like, I watch a lot of people go there and get frustrated with, you know, there's nothing to fight it. Because it's like, well, did you, the rule was this, did you do it? And you're like, no. And it's like, so for instance, for me, like, I never got promoted, you know, and, you know, it's sad to say, you know, and like in the Air National Guard, and in the military, from my last promotion in the military was like 2000. Okay. I didn't get promoted from the year 2000 all the way to, the time I retired, I didn't get a promotion. And part of it was my fault because I had bad work ethic, and not even a bad work ethic, but I just would get frustrated because I didn't understand how to deal with these other nations, and stuff like that. But it was just very frustrating and a painful, humiliating lesson to learn. And even to say, hey, man, I did my 20 years in the military and this is the rank I attained. You know, I did get promoted, but the rank I attained was sorry as heck. You know what I'm saying? And all because there were certain things I didn't understand. And, you know, even right now, it kind of pisses me off, but it was a painful lesson, but I learned it, you know, in the end. And one of the, somebody put in there, and you probably did your job better than most. And I did. Mechanically, I wasn't messing up. Like, I didn't mess up mechanically. I didn't mess planes up. I did my job perfectly because I'm talented when it comes to mechanical ability. I was good. And you see this all the time. But this is one of the things I say. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. And to put it even better, it's not about who you know, it's how you react. But like I said, we're going to go into that in this lesson. Because at the end of the day, people do business with people they like. They don't care about your skills and ability. And I had to learn that the painful way. You know, and then now that I have it figured out, I'm able to navigate with like stress-free ability on the job I work now, you know. And you're going to see in this lesson that it's going to really clear all that up. Sister said, I'm a government employee and being a black woman, we are always experiencing being held back. I trained a younger white woman. See, this is common and typical right here. She said, I trained a younger white woman who within a year became my supervisor. I'm telling you, the more personal, more universal, sis. And it's humiliating and it's a pain in the butt. You know what I'm saying? And who became my supervisor, my prior experience, no seniority. Yeah, no seniority, no prior government experience. She got the position over me. Yep. It's typical. I've done it tons of times. Just watch people come right up by me with and I'm sitting there like, the only thing I can figure out is it gotta be his skin color. I'm gonna show you something heavy though, because it's not skin color, it's culture. It's heavy. And that's why I'm doing this lesson. Yeah, and they call it white privilege. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Okay, and I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm going to show you exactly what it is. I'm going to articulate it in simple terms, what this is and what you need to do. Okay, so let me keep pressing forward though. So anyway, people confirming exactly what I'm talking about is that, like, those office politics at work that I'm telling you, at the, when we were at the Sukkot and we had the men's conference, or the men's meetup, you know, that was on the first day that I got there. We had the men's meet and greet, and one of the brothers expressed his frustration at work. And I'm telling you, like I said, the main place we experience racism and where we're oppressed at is at our jobs. Okay, is at work. That's the main place. Somebody, here it is again. Somebody again said, yes, I've trained people who were there only 2 weeks and became a supervisor. I was there for over 2 years in the hospital, but working in the healthcare industry for over 15 years. It's bone-crushingly humiliating dealing with this, because it got to the point with the military where it was literally painful and stressful waking up and going to that job and looking at this dude, and it's like, man, look at this dude. Like, I could tell you the same story, you know, and it's like, and we're gonna go into all that, because I mean, y'all putting the stories in there where y'all went through that thing too. Brandon put, I trained a new guy on the job and found out he was being paid more. They told us don't discuss the pay rate. Sister Margaret put, yes, I've trained people who were there only 2 weeks. Okay, I already read that. So anyway, we're seeing it. A lot of people are dealing with this thing. And like I said, I dealt with it to the point, because that was one of the things that drove me to this truth. One of the painful things that, helped push me into this truth and really wake me up and see what was going on and break it down. And we're going to break it down, okay? Because this book's talking to us, okay? So we're going to go into the first verse, and y'all can keep putting your experiences in there, your testimonies of what you went through, because this is one of the most painful areas, one of the most humiliating areas, one of the areas where they try to oppress us the most. And I tried a lot of stuff. Like, I tried to work harder and do my job better, and people would come at me sideways and all that. Here's another one. A sister put, yes, I worked in the education and experienced a hostile work environment. When I wanted to sue them, I was advised that a black woman wasn't a protected class against discrimination. So this is widespread. This is where they oppress us at. This is one of the main areas of racism. In the other areas, like I said, is police in your neighborhood if you live in a black neighborhood. And I just saw another article talking about how 10 years ago the FBI warned that white supremacist organizations were infiltrating the what do you call it? The law enforcement system. Law enforcement, legal system, judges. I'm sure one of the main places they infiltrate are the court-appointed attorneys. So we're going to get into this heavy, okay? So let's because the Most High had put this on my heart this morning. I didn't understand why. Now I'm seeing why, okay? Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And like I said, my frustration, like I was getting ready to go into, in the men's meet and greet, I heard a brother, and I was able to empathize with what he was dealing with, because my frustration had got so great with this humiliating situation that it got to the point where I was harboring extreme bitterness, where I was like, man, I wouldn't feel any type of way if all them people were wiped off the earth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it was getting to the point where I was harboring this bitterness to the point where I was losing sleep. It was beginning to hurt me in my spirit, and I could feel it eating at me. And the first thing that happened is I had to pray fast, seek the Lord, and just let go of it, not hold on to it, let go of the bitterness I was holding to them. I still don't like, I can still care less about them, but I just ain't harboring the hate on them, because it was eating me up. Okay, so another sister, but yes, I saw a documentary here in the UK saying that white supremacists have infiltrated and taken over the UK police and army. Hey, sister, can you post that so I could get it? Because I want to watch that too. That sounds like something good. Okay, a brother just put in here, Brandon Carter, he put, they have advantage of the fact that we don't establish businesses, so they're string us along as we help uphold their status. Yep. Yes, it got ugly. Yeah, Shalom. Political cabinets. Okay. So yeah, people are confirming what I'm saying. Anyway, but what we have to do is be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And how how can we be wise as serpents? And how can we be harmless as doves? Okay? Give me 1 second, because I need to plug my phone in here somehow. There we go. All right. So, what's the wisdom? Okay? Is what we have to do is, and I said a couple things, but let's continue through the lesson. I'm going to show y'all the solution, and it's straightforward and simple, okay? And it's some skills that we need, okay? And it's all in the book. That's good, too. It says Proverbs 16:7. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him, okay? And I can say, this isn't just some hairy-fairy, okay, I got to go worship and get emotional, praise Jesus and all that stuff. And then you expect it, go to work and you expect everything to be all good. No, there's stuff in this book that shows you how to deal with these other nations. Okay? And I'm going to show y'all practical examples of how to deal with these other nations at work. I might even bring on one of my ox who is well versed in this thing if I don't remember everything that I need to say. But there is a way to deal with these other nations and understanding how they operate and being wise like a serpent, but not getting down to their malicious, evil level that they get down to, so you're being harmless as a dove. Because you got to understand how they work. And this is applying the Most High's word, because Proverbs 16:7 says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Okay? So let's go to the next one. I put, be at peace with everyone you don't. Okay, let me put it up here, because this is what I'm saying. It says, be at peace with everyone. You don't have to be their friends, but try to be on speaking terms with them. So when you're at work, you got to stay on folks' good side. Go along to get along, as long as it don't violate the scriptures. And that right there is a big step, okay? You don't have to kill yourself doing your job. You can do your job and, you know what I'm saying, and do it good, but be at peace with the folks. Try to stay on their good side. You ain't got to be all up in their face, shucking and jiving and cooning, because eventually when you get like that and you get too friendly with them, then they want to start throwing racial things in there, and you don't want to get too close to them. Like one of my ox, he was saying, you want to say, he had a term for it, but staying friendly, but not too friendly where y'all get too close. Keeping a comfortably friendly distance. You know, when they start getting into the political talk and all that crap like that, kind of, oh yeah, that's cool. But hear them out. Don't go, oh, well, I like Hillary or something like that, and get all into it. Listen to them. And then keep it moving. Okay? Let's see what you put in here. When I tried to move to another area of the hospital, they stopped me and wrote me up so I couldn't leave the department because a write-up would not allow you to be promoted. So I received a write-up. So check this out. Oh, that's a long one there, bro. Well, we'll read it. We'll read it. It says, I couldn't leave the department because a write-up would not allow you to be promoted. So I received a write-up for no reason after never being written up and was unable to move to the surgery department. They then told me that I'm not talented and they didn't want to lose me as an employee in the department. So they did everything to keep me there. However, I have always been in management, but because I had that experience and the ability to do their jobs, they were jealous. My own director was coming to me asking me how to handle situations because she didn't know. They stole my ideas and refused to promote me, use me, and even tried to humiliate me. I wasn't having it. I then quit the job, and now I'm trying to open my own business. They don't want you to succeed, just like Black Wall Street and other situations where blacks have been successful. They want you down and unintelligent. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. And like I said, I'm gonna hit on the core of the key to just moving right up through past these people. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what the secret sauce is, the language of these other nations, of how you can thrive at your job. Okay, it says, brother, what if the people refuse to have peace with you, and what if they are of your own race? We're gonna go into all that, sister. All that's in here. We're gonna smash on all that. We're gonna hit that heavy. Okay, I had to learn to keep it cordial and discuss none of my personal view. Yes, sister. See, she gets it. Look, we're gonna what y'all putting in there, we smashing right on that, and y'all gonna get it. Okay. The first thing, be at peace with everyone. Okay, you don't have to be their friends or their besties, but like for instance, people come at me with politics and see, and now I understand why y'all put me through what he put me through. Okay, because truth be told, let me tell you about me real quick. Where I work at, I'm an aircraft mechanic. I was in the military doing it. Now I do it like as a federal job, working on military airplanes still. The environment I work in is a little more extreme than an office environment, because in the office environment, there's certain things you can't say. Out there where I work at, you can say whatever you want. You just can't say nigger and use certain language. Okay, but outside of that, folks be out there saying, yeah, they should all die. Like when some of these shootings were happening, they were like, yeah, they need to shoot them all in the head for being out there breaking windows over somebody shoot, and like, it's an extreme environment. Like I hear extreme stuff out there, and I was wondering why I was subject to that, and now I'm able to thrive in that environment. And one of the things I did, because they didn't promote me, I studied real estate and promoted myself. I bought rental properties and bring a bunch of income in that way. That's what I had to do, because I could not figure the thing out. Now I got established with the real estate and like at my job, and like I have no desire to move up because I'm in a comfortable position where I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. Supervisor's cool with what I'm doing, so it's straight. Okay. So I'm good. But on the same note, I'll be honest with you. If I wanted to move up and be a director and triple my income, I'm 100% confident I could do it. No problem. Off what I learned, and keep it 100 biblical with it. So that's what we're going to get into. That's what I'm going to break down to y'all. And we're going to get into all that. And it's going to be good. This is going to be good. And it looks like I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this, because I see a lot of people. This is a touchy area. Hey, Shalom, Baresta, Shalom, Sharon Grant on there on YouTube. I see y'all. Okay, so it says, but I put the first step, be at peace with everyone. You don't have to be their friends, but try to be on speaking terms. Okay? I put here, brothers are typically your allies in the workplace. Okay? They're typically your allies in the workplace unless they are in the sunken place. So if so what you have to do when you get when you got to evaluate, you got to discern, hey, where's this brother coming from? But typically, the brothers, they're going to be your allies. Stay cool with the brothers and sisters. And it'll come across pretty obvious if they in the sunken place and they against you. And they really a white dude in a black body, or not necessarily a white-black thing, but they're typically against you. And they'll rat you out or whatever, and they don't like you or whatever. You'll pick up on that, discern that. And when you pick up that they are in the sunken place, still stay cool with them. You just know you got to feed them with the long spoon. You got to kind of keep it professional, like you about your job and all that. And they not a surveillance person where you could get information about what's going on there at work. So I put 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 18 here. It says, servants. Now this is a heavy one. This goes back to learning how to deal with these folks. It says, servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and the gentle, but also to the froward. Okay, if you want to know who your master is, he's saying your supervisors. Because, yeah, we are in slavery now. We're not in bondage. And I know some people that be debatable, but the brothers in prison are in bondage, hard bondage. But we are in slavery, okay? And that's how but it said not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. And the definition of froward is of a person difficult to deal with, contrary. And let me tell y'all, when I'm at work, I deal with everybody at the job. Everybody at the job like they my supervisor. That's how I treat them. Like if they ask me to do something, I try to do it. I ain't bucking back and forth. And I try to keep everybody in good terms with me. That's, if you want to know what 70 to 80% of it is just staying on good terms with them, being friendly with people, not getting on bad terms. As again, I said people do business with people they like. People are cool with people they like. So that's a big part. Not taking things personal with them. Above all things, avoiding the conflict. Because then that's when some of these people, especially these other nations, once you piss them off, they already, like a lot of them you're going to find out are racist, especially I found that when I came into the truth and began to realize this, I found out certain people at my job were affiliated with supremacist organizations. Real talk. Like I found out they was affiliated with it and they were into that. And then when I went to my next job, I found out certain people were like that. And then I found out that I was on good terms with them and that they saw me highly. But then I saw people who came against them that were black folks and they crushed them utterly. So you got to use wisdom because some of these people, you don't know. Stay on good terms because you never know. They cover it up so good. But when you have that spirit of discernment and wisdom, you can see it. And you learn how to stay on a good term. Not like, yes, master. And if and you want that, I do that too, sir. You know what I'm saying? Not on that tip. Just being wise, having some charisma, learning how to navigate through these folks. Okay? And what I'm saying, I'm backing up with this script right here. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 18. It says, servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. And the froward means not only to the good and the gentle supervisors or whatever, also to the difficult to deal with ones, the contrary ones. Because those are the ones that will really ruin your life. It says, for this is thankworthy of a man for conscience toward God endure grief, suffering wrongfully. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the Most High. This is the Most High showing you how to get out of this oppression that we're in. You ain't going to pray and luck your way out of it like the church say, oh, just yell louder and all that. This works that you have to do for us to get from under this bondage we're in. For what glory is it if when you be buffeted for your own faults, you shall take it patiently, but if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with God. So what he's saying there is, yeah, it's no big deal if you did something wrong and now you got to pay for it. But when you've done right and then they do you wrong and you take it humbly and in a biblical way and know how to navigate around it in a biblically wise way, and you're doing it for the Most High Yah, then he's going to bless you. He's going to increase you. You're going to learn from it. It's going to give you that steadfastness. You know what I'm saying? It's going to hold you steadfast with stuff. Okay? So let me keep reading. It says, for even hereunto where ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps. It's helping you to understand the level Christ was on. And I'm telling you, I was sitting there wishing death on these devils that I was working with. And then what ended up happening is I studied the word and I humbled down and I saw where I was in error at and the places I was off at. And what it did, it made me thicker skinned. It gave me the ability to develop. One of the skills I have now is like dealing, even in the Hebrew community, dealing with conflicts in the Hebrew community and stuff like that. And helped me to know that, hey, I'm not always right and stuff like that. So y'all put a lot of comments in there. Let me, so on YouTube, brother put, whoa, I always was aware of society based on nothing new under the sun. Yep. Shalom, Malcolm family. So shalom, Steve Morris. Shalom, man. Stay neutral at work. Yep. Never get deep in your feelings. You can't get emotional at work. Like y'all, a lot of y'all playing checkers at work. You gotta play chess. You see what I'm saying? It ain't, they get you mad and you're mad. No, you look, I'm there for the check. You know, how do I get this number to increase? You know what I'm saying? How can I use you to help me get this number to increase? Now, the brothers there or the like-minded people that I discerned out of there, I'm going to try to build with y'all. But the main thing is, how do I get that number to increase on that check? That's the end goal. It ain't about, oh, they pissed me off. You know, and what you're going to find it comes down to is, how do I stay on this person's good side? There was a supervisor that I worked with that they were other supervisors who liked me were warning me about him. And workers were warning me about him. And they're like, man, you getting ready to go over there and work with him. And I eventually I ran into a dude who said, yeah, he ain't that bad. He just don't like, you know, certain types of people, you know. And I was like, so, and the dude explained, he was like, he don't like people questioning him, even if he's wrong. And then if he finds out he's wrong, he'll come back and tell you, hey, my bad. So anyway, I ended up going out there working for the dude. He told me to do something. It was wrong. I did it anyway because it wasn't life-threatening or it wasn't going to ruin some equipment. So I started doing it. Even though I knew it was wrong, I was doing it anyway. I was like, I'm here for the check, player. I ain't here to be right. You know, I was doing what he told me even though it was wrong. And he told me to do it. I was like, yes, sir. I was like, I'll go ahead and get it done. Boom. I'm working on it, getting it done. He came back out here. He's like, you know what, Mike? I'm going to need to stop here. He's like, my bad. I messed up, man. He's like, this goes here, and you need to do it this way. I'm like, no sweat. I'll get it done. Boom. Don't you know, after working with him for a couple weeks, he was over there talking to other supervisors, telling them how good I was and how they need to put me in this special position and all that and make my life easier. That's counterintuitive to how we think. And it's because we have the wrong objective. You know what I'm saying? So again, and that's that wisdom and that self-control. And like this brother said, don't be in your emotions when you at work. Okay? So let me, all right. And then again, y'all read that 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 18. I'll put it back up there again. Y'all take that scripture and dissect it and digest it and chop it up for yourself. Okay? The testing of your spirit worketh faith. Exactly. Because he gonna test you. He gonna use that job is purifying you as gold, burning off any of your emotional impurities, so you can be a better tool in the kingdom. Okay. Yes. I said this. We are still in slavery. Preconceived hatred is very real in the workplace. And this is what I'll say about the workplace and these jobs. This is what something else I'll tell you is with these jobs is your margin of error is very narrow. Where I saw some people, their margin of error is as wide as a highway in LA. Like one of them 8-lane or whatever, however wide them highways are in LA. That's how wide their margin of error is. They can trip, fall, roll around, do flips, tumble, slide around, and they still don't fall off. Your margin of error, because you're of another nation and they play team ball, because what you call racism is just nationhood. You about your people. Everybody's about their people. I can't get mad at them for that. And their people, understand this, their people are not, when I say their people, the quick way they identify who their nation is skin color. It's like the quick way you identify your nation is by skin color. Because they assume, hey, if you're of this skin color, this is how you're going to behave, act. This is going to be your cultural mindset. Okay? You have to understand their work culture and how the language of their nation in the workplace. White people naturally know their language in the workplace and how to communicate and behave in their nation in the workplace. We don't. You got to understand that language. And when we go in there, it's like what I find with a lot of our people, and what I did for years is, okay, I got to be the best mechanic. And I did. I became the best aircraft mechanic. But that's not what they care about. They care about you being the best people person. Getting along with them the best. Now, if you become the best aircraft mechanic and you become the best people person, when I say the best people person, I just mean staying on good terms with everybody. Now you got a combination to fly straight through the ranks. Israelites alone to be with us, because sadly many have been infiltrated. This is a spiritual warfare. Yeah. They will indeed ruin your life, or at least, they will, if you don't do what I said. Okay, you can learn your job, and say you learn your job decently, but you mess up from time to time, and people come and point it out to you, and you're cool, and you take the criticism, whatever it's called, and all that stuff, and you take it, and you don't go crazy, and you don't get into it with them, and you stay on good terms, you're going to move ahead. If you're doing your job perfectly, but you mess up one time, and you don't know how, and you're on bad terms with people, they're going to crush you and you're going to be freaking frustrated. So I don't get caught up in, like, I just do what I need to do to keep the people that matter content with me, you know? Because, you know, and I'll go into that more. Been there and got crushed, but I learned my lesson. We must humble ourselves at times in spite of our feelings. Yeah, check when you're at work, you got to check your feelings out. It's about making that money. Because you're there to make money. You ain't there to make friends. You ain't there to be right. Don't be there to be right at what you do with your job. Because half time these folks don't care about the job. I keep saying people do business with people they like. If you stay on good terms with them and do your job half decent, you're going to be fine. You will move up. They'll still promote people over you, but eventually they're going to hook you up. And if you do your job good and you on good terms with them, you're going to move right up. Because it's funny because, and that's developing your charisma. Your ability to just talk with people and be social and all that. I've purposely developed that with myself. Let me pull my camera. But I've purposely developed that in myself. My ability to just talk to people and be cool with them. And I've talked to black folks. And I'm quick to talk to high up people. Like I talked to one of the heads of the whole place where I work at. Like this dude deep into six figures probably. And just feel them out. And I've seen consistently the people who move up are people. People who know how to get along with people. People who understand personalities. People who could discern stuff. That dude who's real good at his job, they'll keep him right there because he's good at his job. He's a good worker. But in order to move up to these higher positions, you gotta learn. You gotta know how to be good with people, and that's hard. It's hard dealing with people and personalities. That's why I've never really wanted to move up into management. Like when I really began understanding this and really what's required to move up, which is being able to manage personalities and emotions and stuff like that in people. When I really learned what that was, I was like, they couldn't pay me enough to be dealing with some of these crazy folks I work with. And now I've moved into a supervisory position to where now you're paid to manage personalities. Heck no, I ain't doing that. I like staying in the background and I just, hey, what's up, bro? Boom. Hey, how you doing today, man? What's going on? And just cooling out with people. And what I might do is, I should record myself at work. It's just going around saying what's up, talking to people, find out what's going on with them. And I genuinely like knowing, hey, what you doing, what's going on. Like there was a guy there at the job. He did concrete. So he was talking to me about that. I like finding out what folks is doing. That's the key. You see what I'm saying? It's counterintuitive. For years, I became the ultimate aircraft mechanic. I'm talking about I was installing jet engines on airplanes in wartime conditions, high stress wartime conditions, and installing engines on planes and fixing planes and not messing up, and just a great track record mechanically. But I never moved up from it because I didn't know that, hey, I'd have this spirit on me where if somebody told me something that I felt was wrong, it turned into an argument. It's heavy. Yeah, managing personalities. When you develop that skill, you become the leader of men. And what you find when you really begin to get deep into this, because what I really began to find out recently in the past year is that the Most High Yah was preparing me for something he needed me to do in the future and all that stuff like that. So Sharon put, yes, we have to study the scriptures of Yahushua the Mashiach because he had enemies outside of Israelites, and when Israelites, but yeah, he used wisdom. God says, a woman, we must master our emotions. That's why we have discernment. We have to sidestep trap. Yeah, and I typically, and women are better, you know, in the corporate environment with that because it requires a lot of those discernment skills. You got to be able to discern, and women are already have high levels of discernment naturally. So they can, and especially our sisters, like when a sister gets this internalized, you see it, there's a lot of high power black women in corporate America. And they got this thing figured out. And they can excel. But that's their religion. Now we in the truth, if you apply this to your job now and you in the truth, it's going to benefit us as a nation also. Code talk all the time, especially in meetings, bigotry all day. Yeah, but this is the thing. See, y'all don't want, if y'all can see the environment I work in, like I had a guy told me he told me get over slavery. He said, we were talking about, and I'm cool with this dude. This is recently. I'm cool with the dude at work. We were talking about the Holocaust, and I was like, you do understand that wasn't as big as they initially made it out to be. He was like, oh, yeah, you know, he's saying all this stuff. And I was like, you know, slavery was bigger than the Holocaust, you know, the slave trade. And when they brought us over here in the ships, he's like, oh, yeah, but you got to get over that. He's like, you got to stop dwelling on that and using that for an excuse. Told me that right there out there on the shop floor. I felt no type of way about it. Like, I didn't get emotional. I could care less. I just laughed a little. And I seen him beginning to get emotional. And I was like, so how you feel about that? You know, and we continued talking. And I could care less. And he's still cool with me, ain't got no problem with me. Most people would have turned up. But what I understand, because he's in Catholicism, so what I understand is that, hey, that's just his understanding. He's on Team Greco-Roman, European, and I'm on Team Israel, you know? And we projected to win the game. And it's like, and it is what it is. I don't got to win him over. That's the team he chose to play on. So what I'm saying is all this code talk and the innuendo and the subtle racial comments don't affect me. And when you get to that level, then that number begins to increase on your check. And that workload begins to decrease. So yeah, it's heavy stuff, man. It's counterintuitive, and it's how one of the main ways the prison, the legal system, and the workplace, those are the tools of oppression now. And they brainwash you. The programming is coming from the media on your mindset and how you need to be. And, you know, so I didn't think this topic was going to get this heavy, but it is. We have to learn to not let their opinion matter. Their opinion doesn't matter once you know who you are in this book. And once you understand why you're where you're at and why they bust you upside your head at work. Shalom, DeMarcus. Shalom, brother. See you on there. That's what made me let go of this so much is when I realized, look, you getting whooped upside your head because you're hard-headed, stiff-necked people. And this is how the Most High Yah massages that neck and works them kinks out so you ain't so stiff-necked. He uses them to whoop your head. And he whooped my head for years. And he did a heck of a job loosening this neck up to where now I can move it like this. I ain't so stiff-necked. You know what I'm saying? And once I learned to humble down and, you know, like I told y'all earlier, if I wanted to, I could apply myself and really move up there. But now the Most High Yah is using me in ministry and other areas to where I'm not going to apply my time and my ability to that. He's going to take care of me financially and any other way he needs to take care of me with where the Spirit guides, where the Spirit is using me at now. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, y'all putting a lot. Let me try to keep up. It says, do you believe that they can see, recognize the Most High in us, and this causes them to dislike us before they know us on a professional level? I believe in a previous department, this was the case. Look, nation, like, let me put it to you like this, okay? Good question, sister. So this ain't no hairy-fairy, ghostly. It's very logical and practical. Indian people from India know what team they play on. They know who's on their team, and they know what the rules of the game are. They know how to score points. Chinese people know what team they play on. They know they know what team, they know how to score the points, they know the rules of the game, they know who's on their team. They know what their team jersey looks like. Greco-Roman European people, they know who's on their team, they know what the rules of the game are, and the added dimension on it is they know how to manipulate other teams to their benefit. Hebrews, who ain't in the truth, they don't know what team they're on. They don't know the rules of the game. And they're scoring points for the other teams. They don't know what their jersey color is. They don't know any of that. So fast forward to your question, what you asked. Do you think they hate us, this, that? No, they see you and they already know, you're black and you got an afro. They already know you ain't European. You ain't Greco-Roman European. They automatically know you Hebrew. So they're going to feed you with the long spoon. They're going to keep you out. They're going to, but then we so stupid. We sit here and watch all this stuff. We are the world. We are all one. We're one in America. All one. Oh, there ain't no racism. And they shooting you running from them, they shooting you in the back and telling you, you see everybody saying the same thing. Even in this post, 20 people said the exact same stuff I went through at my job. You will know them by their fruits. They brainwash you into no. Don't look at their fruits. Listen to what they say. Don't judge a book by its cover. When the Bible's saying judge the book by its cover. If you see a bunch of naked, big booty women on the book, it's probably a porn magazine. Judge the book by the cover. So that's why I said early on is, and you should debate me on this if you want. I won't get mad and get frustrated. You should question what I'm saying, but you need to go into this knowing that, hey, these folks are against you. They know what team they play on. And understand the odds are already against you. Understanding that, now you can go in there with the right mindset of, okay, what do I need to do to navigate through this thing? And that's why I said the first step is staying on their good side. And I proved that with scripture. It's nothing like esoteric and spiritual. They just know you're not on their team. They know you ain't part of their nation. They know they got to be about their people. They can relate to their people because, and this is the big heavy part, is they can relate to their people culturally, mindset-wise, how they deal with each other. Like they like to be real friendly to each other and then stab each other in the back. They do it to each other, but they really do it to you. And then you get all mad. It's like, no, you got to understand, hey, the first step is I just got to be on friendly speaking terms. Because when you go in there with an attitude, I did it for years. And it was like fighting to get out of a plastic bag, like punching a plastic bag. It was just like, and the harder I punched, the less happen, I just get even more tired and frustrated. So you got to understand how they work. And I'm telling you, who y'all tell me if you seen this at work. They be friendly to each other. Hey, Bob. Hey, let's go to lunch. This, that, the other. Stab the knife in the back and twist it right in front of you. And then you thinking like they won't do it to you in a quicker heartbeat. And they won't just stab the knife and they'll slit your throat with it and try to get you fired. And with a grin on their face, shaking your hand. Hey, how you doing? Looking you right in your eyes. And we be thinking it's something different. That's why the book told you, be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. Don't do that back to them. But understand what you got to do to avoid that. And that's what I'm trying to show you here. Okay? Because it's brutal out there. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, I work in one of the most brutal environments. Like if you want to kick against it and fight them there, and where I work at, oh, they'll humble you. They'll humble you. They will humble you. And another statement, they say, hey, a black man gotta be twice as good. Hebrew gotta be twice as good at what he does. And let me say something real quick. Some more wisdom I'm using. I try to say Greco-Roman European instead of calling them out like that. And I try to call us the Brews or something like that. Because you use certain words on here too much. They got programs that crawl over social media, and if they deem you racist or something, they'll block your stuff. So that's why I be navigating. But y'all know what I'm talking about. It's using wisdom, man. You in captivity. So anyway, one of the sayings is you got to be twice as good to move up in a world or whatever. Yeah, but where? And it's not necessarily twice as good. You just got to understand how that thing works, and you can do it better than them. You can navigate better than them. This is what black folks who move up in their corporate thing or whatever. Excuse me. All the brothers I've ever met that have moved up in like aircraft maintenance, made it to supervisors, directors, and all the other high positions, Air National Guard, in the military, same thing. People, brothers that I've met that have moved up high, they always had charisma. They always knew how to deal with people. Across the board. That's the one thing that was across the board. The brothers that I met, that were, including myself, that were pissed off because they weren't moving up, didn't have people skills and would get into it with a lot of them. And then it's a self-fueling engine, because also the more I didn't move up, the more frustrated I get, the more I'd be kicking against them, and it just kind of make itself continue to move forward. All right. I put, figure out your supervisor's needs. They don't always line up with the job description. Okay? So with your supervisor, this is another heavy one, because people aren't thinking personalities, they thinking job description. I see a lot of people wrestle with this. You got to figure out what your supervisor wants and give it to them. And a lot of times, it ain't got nothing to do with the job. Like, there's some supervisors who just want you to show up on time and be consistent every day. And they could care less how much you get done. I had one supervisor, he was just big on production, getting a lot of work done. I had another supervisor who was, his big thing wasn't getting the planes fixed, was helping out with the computer programs that had to be updated. You know, so you got to figure that out. And I've told people this at my job, and they're like, well, I don't care. They hired me to do this, so I don't care what he needs done. I'm doing what they hired me for. Okay, brother. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you how to make that number on your check go up and them whip marks on your back go down. You see what I'm saying? All right. I put here the importance of doing tasks that make you look good when possible. So, and that's more, you know, just, again, that kind of ties into what I said is you know, if you can choose jobs that kind of that are easier, that are more prone to make you look good, or sometimes it might, you know, that's more of a strategic thing. Like I said, you got to play checkers, not chess. Just thinking, okay, they need a volunteer. Nobody's stepping up for this job. You might need to step up. You know, if it's something to differentiate yourself from everybody, something that nobody wants to do, just think it out in a strategic way. Hey, but something that you know, ain't gonna overwork you. Let's see. Right, you don't even know where. Yeah. Yeah. On my job, they are careful of what and how they talk to me. They gave me a promotion my second month. I used to have a bad attitude with them. Okay. So how's your attitude now, Sonia? You already know if they look like you but support feminists, LGBT, all lives matter, Christian, etc. They are lost and want to impress other nations. Sad but true. They have been conditioned. Exactly. And it's funny, like where I work at, there's a bunch of Hebrew brothers there that's in the truth. They actually know this truth. And so, you know, we could talk hard on this, and they my lookouts. Like, they're my satellites. Like, I look out for them. They look out for me. I give them heads up on stuff. You know, that's important to have. Yeah, our people suffer from lack of knowledge. So you said the brother Neely Fuller opened my eyes to white people. All white people are white supremacists until proven otherwise. They stay on code. So Neely, I'm gonna write that down. Neely, is he on YouTube? Neely Fuller, or is that a book, or what is that? Because I'm gonna check it out. Fuller. They stay on code when it comes to people of color. Well, no, I would say, look, that's what I wanted to say. I'm glad you put that there. When you're a black person and you come on a job, you're already considered lazy, and you ain't gonna work, and you're gonna be a mess, and you'll be hard to deal with. Like, you don't realize. You know. Hey, shalom, Ugo on there. Hey, y'all say shalom to Ugo, man. I'm streaming across his channel. Shalom, Ugo. I'm gonna hit you up later, man. We're gonna chop it up. But yeah, when you come on these jobs, they said a black man stands the same chance of getting hired from a job as a white felon. I saw that written one time. So understand that the odds are already against you. And what you have to do is go in with this mindset that I'm teaching you here. That's the key. But a lot of our people, they realize, yeah, these people gonna probably be against, and they looking for something to be off, and then they start fighting against it, and then you already had the odds against you, and they're like, see, told you, you know? And then this is another heavy thing. You come in, a lot of people, they already got that preconceived notion, and they try to put it on you. You see what I'm saying? Like when they see you don't fit that, whatever the word is that they put you in, how they see you, they try to conform you into it. And that's where you really got to be smooth with people skills and just laugh and learn how to de-escalate and use some wisdom and some chess skills dealing with them and mark them. Like there's some dude, they try to tease you. Oh man, you lazy. You gonna do anything today? And you be like, that's all I do out here is work for like a rented mule. I'm trying to get you to do that too. You know, you got to kind of figure out a way to deal with them. And then you got to mark them and be like, okay, I'm going to stay away from this dude the best I can. I'm going to keep my conversations with him real short, and I'm going to treat him like a supervisor. When he come around, I'm going to make sure I'm doing something. Like, that's how you got to be with these dudes, because most of these dudes is eyes and ears for the supervisor anyway. Your co-workers are always who your supervisor goes to figure out how you're working. Because the supervisor don't got time to follow you around. So who's he gonna ask? He's gonna ask them. That's why you gotta stay on good terms with all these people. You see what I'm saying? All right. The importance of doing tasks that make deal with other nations. So here, and I said it again here. Deal with other nations like a supervisor. Same respect. Don't let down your guard. They lie and rat each other out, so they will lie and rat you out. It's their nature, and they'll rat you out quicker. Okay? Here we go again. Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly while thine art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and he cast you into prison. So anyway, that I feel like that kind of applies to what I'm saying. And I put here, figure out who the supervisor's eyes are. Because a lot of times what I found is there's a couple people that the supervisor will go to all the time to figure out, hey, how they doing, you know? And again, brothers are typically, and here we go, look, brothers are typically your allies in the workplace unless they are in the sunken place. Unless they one of these dudes, you know what I'm saying? You got to feel that out. This is your job. Like, this is how, doing this is what's going to make you money, not knowing your job. I'm telling you, knowing your job is not going to get you money. Doing this will get you money. The brothers will let you know about the unwritten rules and landmines to watch out for. Again, if they're not in the sunken place. And you got to have spiritual discernment to figure that out. It says, if you ask the heathens these questions, they may go tell. Yeah, they may go tell. You really need to feel them out before you ask deeper questions. So if they offer you up this information, hey, watch out for that, this, that, and the other, take it. But don't be trying to be like, so, hey, why does he do so-and-so? Hey, you know, do that with a brother and make sure you feel that brother out. But the heathens, like I said, they will, like these other nations, man, they will, particularly the Greco-Roman Europeans, like I've worked with other nations and they just won't even deal with you, period. But the Greco-Roman Europeans, yeah, they'll deal with you and then they'll go tell what you was asking. He's like, he might be a slacker. You see what I'm saying? This is how you get them promotions, is learning how to deal with these other nations with wisdom. Okay? If you ask the heathens these questions, so like I said, for our people, this is like learning a new culture. The stuff I'm saying is the job culture. This is their culture. And yeah, you got to humble yourself down to be willing to learn all this stuff. But it says, for our people, this is like learning a new culture. For years, I was a victim of circumstances and could not figure out why I was getting the results I was getting until I got in the Word. All right, and we're almost done here. I'm going to read the scripts. This is, they can and will always use a hard worker. So yeah, if you're a hard worker with a good attitude, you're going to make money. And this is Proverbs 14:23. It says, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury and extreme poverty, destitution. And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord and not unto men, knowing that the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance. For ye serve the Lord Christ. Okay? All right, let's see. Knowing, all right. And then I put here, follow the orders of everyone, even if it's wrong. I talked about that earlier, and I read this verse earlier. Like, I have supervisors telling me the wrong stuff to do, and I do it anyway. Now, like I said, if it's going to cause an aircraft to be messed up, I'm going to call them out. I ain't doing that. But if it's something minor and it's not going to be a big issue and it's not going to harm somebody, then, hey, I'm going to just do what you say. You know, I'm going to minimize being contentious because they already got this preconceived notion that you're argumentative, you're lazy, you don't want to work, you know, and all this other stuff. So understand that that's how they see you. And a lot of them will try to put that on you. Also, because I saw a lot of y'all put in here, a lot of y'all work in toxic work environments. There's some work environments that I don't care. You just have to get out of. You got to take the cut in money. Because I took a money loss when I retired. As soon as I was eligible to retire, I did. Because, you know, I wasn't going to change my reputation there. It's sometimes almost impossible to change that reputation you've gotten, and you just need to move on. And I did, and now where I'm at now is better. Okay? So you have to change. Sometimes you got to get out of that environment because it's just going to have you stressed out. Okay? So you got to get up out of there. All right? That's a big one. So be willing, ready to get up out of there. All right. Let's see. Agree with an adversary. Quickly. Okay. So we put that. I put men of Yah had favor in their captivity. Daniel and Joseph. Okay. So in their captivity, which you're in your captivity now, if you want to have favor, you're going to walk out those scriptures I told you that I just laid out there. You're gonna walk in those. And they will bring you favor. It's nothing magical. It's a lot of this is literal. Now you do need the Spirit to guide you. You need to pray, fast, seek the Lord if you're really going through it. But yeah, so yes, YouTube page is Victor. So somebody put something good up here, and I gotta get that. All right. YouTube page. Okay. He just gave. I was asking about that. He said his YouTube page is Victor of RWS. So, and that phone just went dead just before I got that. So that's good. All right. So yeah. So they had favor in their captivity. Why? Because they were keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. They were doing what he said. If you're one of these hard-headed, emotional, rebellious people, Most High gonna whoop your head at work. You're gonna have a heck of a time. Yeah, it's a life skill course, that's for sure. A good name is, so this is Proverbs 22, verse 1. Okay, going back to what I was saying about that reputation. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. A loving favor rather than silver and gold. So that good name is important. Okay? Or otherwise you ain't going to have no silver and gold. Okay? All right, let's move on. Let's see what else I got here. Psalms chapter 1. Verse 3, Psalms chapter 138, okay, verse 6, it says, though the Lord be high, yet hath he respect unto the lowly, but the proud he knoweth afar off. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me. Though thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of mine enemies, and thy right hand shall save me. The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. Thy mercy, O Lord, endureth forever. Forsake not the works of thine own hands. So when you're when you're applying this Bible to your life, to your spirit, to your personality, to who you are, the Lord's going to stretch his hands out against those that come against you. And you don't even got to get emotional and mad about it. You know the Most High going to deal with them. But a lot of us aren't applying this word and humbling down. He said, but the proud he knoweth afar off. He don't really deal with you. He let them whoop your head at work. But it says, and that's how I was. I was trying to fight this thing myself. And like, I'm better than it and all that stuff like that. And it got to a point before I'd even got in this truth of who I was. One of these people were up in my face, oppressing me. And I could see that it was something spiritual that I was coming up against. Like I knew, I was in the middle of the situation, getting ready to get mad. And something was like, yo, this is something spiritual. Like the Most High, I was like, the Most High somehow is letting this happen. I was like, what the heck is going on here? And I was looking this dude right in the eyes, and I knew it was something spiritual going on. It was crazy. And then fast forward years later, it all came to, okay, this is what's going on. And some of those people who oppress me, come to find out, you think I'm playing. I'm talking about ugly divorces, suffering. These people would be suffering from depression. A couple of people died. It was crazy. Nothing had to do with me, not by my hands. Because after I came in this truth and realized it was me bringing this upon myself, then I was like, I let go of any bitterness I held against them. I was like, man, the Most High is just using them to get me right. So it's a heavy thing, man. Because I found out recently this dude died. And it blew my mind. I was like, wow. I had forgot about the dude. Get your mind right. And get your mind right by applying this word to it. Okay? This is, you see, I'm coming straight down the middle of it. So it says, very glad I caught this morning because I have a dispute I need to address, but my mind was on automatic anger. Yeah. And you got to understand that it ain't that serious. It's just work. And your sole objective is not to be right at work. Your sole objective is to make that money. And that's it. You know, and take the quickest route to doing that. That's righteous. You know what I'm saying? And he said, but the proud he knoweth afar off. So as though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me. And he going to revive you with truth. Not some magically, all this magic, you know, God is a genie, you know, type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's heavy stuff, man. All right, so check this out, y'all. I got something else I got to show y'all. Let me see. Boom. Let me switch this. Okay, so I'm going to pull something else up I want y'all to do. All right. Let's see. All right, just bear with me. We'll get it up here. All right. So this is what I want y'all to do. What I want y'all to see here. Whoops. Oh my goodness. I got trying to get this thing to go right. All right. So let me pull it up. But yeah, it's, you know, and like I said, inbox me or put it in the comments or get me on Facebook, on my Spiritual Combat page. Message me if y'all got any questions. If I didn't get all the meat off the bone with this, you know, and I need to do a part 2 to address some issues maybe I didn't hit on, let me know, and I will, because look, I know a lot of people go through it. And it's what? Character development. Character development. That's what we gotta, that's where we gotta grow at. And that's what this is. You know, that's what this is gonna build. All right, so what I need y'all to do, if this blessed y'all and y'all are watching, I need y'all on the Spiritual Combat page, I need y'all to follow me so y'all get updates when I do this again, when I go live again. Okay? So what you do is go see first and all posts. And it's weird. Sometimes what you got to do is click here and then click back up for it to change. Okay, and for y'all on YouTube, I got something for y'all too that I need y'all to do. So, and then on here, you got to go off and back on, and it'll change. You got to play with this a little bit, but so y'all, when I do go live, y'all see it, and y'all get an update, and y'all know when I'm live. And then for y'all on Facebook, I need y'all to hit subscribe on my Spiritual Combat channel, and then hit this notification bell so that you get notified when I go live. You see what I'm saying? And y'all know when I'm live on there. Okay? So go ahead and do that. Subscribe and follow me on my Spiritual Combat page. So, because a lot of people been telling me they haven't you know, they haven't been able to do that. They ain't been getting notifications and stuff, so I figure I'll put that in there. But yeah, you know, I might do a part 2 to this, because I know there's a lot that I could go in way deeper on, but I think I pointed y'all in the right direction of the way y'all gotta deal with these folks. And like, do your job, you know, whatever your job is, but the key is dealing with these folks, you know what I'm saying? And not making sure nothing turns into an argument. Keep it, you know, because me, I'm on a level with this to where I just go to work and have fun, be talking to people, chilling, you know, whatever. They come up to me talking about politics, and I be like, yeah, man. I was like, you're right. I was like, they all idiots, you know? I was like, I don't believe in politics. I believe in the Bible. And they'd be like, that's good. Or I'd be like, yeah, I'm voting Jesus on the ballot this election, you know, and just don't even get, and they like, well, we ain't gonna go to Michael about nothing. He cool, you know, you know. But then there's other people that they've made little political comments at work, and people be like, and hate him worse than a black man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And yeah, because they say don't talk religion, race, or politics, which they all tie into nations, you know, when you get down to the bottom of it. But and even me, I'm at a level where I could talk about that with folks, you know, but if you can avoid it, you know. Like I need to bring on my one-ock who really got this down, because he works around some extreme Trump supporters and stuff like that. And what he does is he goes in there and he lets them talk and just be like in agreement. And they think he's a far-right Trump supporter because he doesn't answer back or add to it or anything. He just hears them out. He don't feel any type of way because he already knows what the game is. He already knows where his basket's at and how to score the points. He knows what the game is, so he don't get emotional. He don't get in his feelings. He hear them out. And they cool with him. They be telling him all types of stuff. And he said when he feel it getting too racist, too extreme, he cuts the conversation and keeps it moving. So anyway, with that said, y'all, I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all contributing. Y'all started putting so many comments in there. I couldn't keep up with them. I appreciate that. I'll go back and read them, see if I need to do another video on some of the stuff y'all put in. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to take it out with some of my worship music, my new worship song that I got. It's called Cut 'em Up, Build 'em Up. And that's my new worship song. So y'all check it out, enjoy it. Enjoy that, and y'all could download it online if y'all want to. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Bring it out. First we go. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up. Yeah, there we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. There we go. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up, build 'em up. There we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. If you don't know me, I stay with them OGs. ISRAELITE, chosen seed. Original God, so bright that you can't even see me. When I open my mouth, you blinded like I got a mouth full of gold teeth. We cut them up, then we let them know. Building them up, they go wide and show. And then good, we ain't no more. We stomped his ass right through the flow. 12 tries, I'm calling now. Yelling repent with a big shot. Time to realize that you've been sodomized with all the lies. First we go. Cut them up, cut them up, cut them up. There we go. Build them up, build them up. Yeah, there we go. Break them down, break them down, break them down. There we go. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. Cut them up, cut them up, cut them up. There we go. Build them up, build them up, build them up. There we go. Break them down, break them down, break them down, break them down. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out.
Propaganda, black and white scriptures, no panda. If you see laws in the stanza, put your hands up. If you're ready to man up, better know of your obligation, then stop.